Hey guys, it's Rose, and as you can see, I have an amazing rare sight for booktubing behind me. It is a bookcase that has space on it. This is a very exciting thing for me. I've finally managed to get my acquisition of bookcases to overtake my acquisition of actual books. So I have some empty shelves, and I'm so excited about what I can fill them with. Luckily enough for me, the Chapters bookstore that is nearest to my house is closing down. The reason that I'm telling you about this bookstore, though, and the reason I'm telling you about it with my empty shelves, is that this is a haul video because the bookstore was doing an extra 50% off all of their bargain books. They actually close at the beginning of next month, so if you're in the Vancouver area, June 7th is closing day. June 6th is going to be your last day to get books on sale from the downtown Chapters. If you are not in the Vancouver area, I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you about all the amazing bargains that I got as we approach closing sales. First up, we have Charles Jessold, Considered as a Murderer, and this one is by Wesley Stace. I actually had to look that up because the little bargain sticker covers what could have been much more of a surname, but it is just Wesley Stace. I'm not assuming that it's Stoff. And this I managed to get for like $3. Oh my god, brand new book for $3. I love the pages on this. Even before I get to the story, the pages are that really nice, like, thick paper, and at the edge they are all different, not hugely different, but they vary in size, so you get this really nice old, soft, sort of antiqued feeling to it, which I love. And to go with this, the cover is actually burning away on the edges, and underneath it there are sheets. You can just see little bits of music notes. And I love that from the cover alone. I would be happy to have this on my bookcase just for the cover, and the spine looks like an old classic book, and I absolutely love that. I love books that I can have happily on my bookcase. The actual book is a historical fiction murder mystery about a composer who writes an opera and then slaughters his wife. And I've been getting a lot more into murder mysteries, so I'm kind of excited about it. Next up, we have The Age of Ice by J.M. Sidorova. This is a Russian historical fiction, which is really exciting to me because I love Russian literature and I love, obviously, historical fiction. So I'm really, really excited to see the two of these combine. Starting in Russia in 1740, it seems like it goes over a couple of centuries, whole interweaving dynastical, what word? Dynastical? Dynasty-like. I'll look it up. Again, really beautiful cover, hardcover. It's got these amazing illustrations on the inside covers, and I like my books to be pretty. Then I picked up Nose, a novel, which is by James Conway, and this I had to get. Obviously you can see from the cover, it is about wine, and I absolutely love wine. That was what really got to me about it, was that I am a huge wine drinker, and that I always like to read books based around my interests. Shocking concept, right? But also because then I get to learn a little bit more about it, and I would love to learn a little bit more about wine other than how much I can drink and still function in the morning. This is another kind of a mystery book. It seems like after reading Alexander McCall Smith's The #1 Ladies Detective Agency, I've actually kind of got into murder mysteries. They've become something that I'm kind of moving into as a genre that I like, and that's so exciting for me because new genres mean new books and new authors, and it's something that you haven't explored fully. So it's kind of a mystery, not necessarily a murder mystery, but a mystery as he's in a blind taste test and tries to hunt down a perfect bottle of wine that was unmarked and see where it came from. Two of my favorite things, books and wine, just in one. How could I not? Next, I'm shamelessly admitting that I picked this up for the cover. This is called She by H. Rider Haggard. And look at it, it's so pretty. So pretty. We have Egyptian queeniness going on. And that's what it is. It's a historical fiction about an African Egyptian queen, and it sounds amazing. And the really cool thing is that I didn't notice this until I was reading the inside flap in a little more detail before I did this video. This was actually first book published in the 1880s. I think this book is actually exactly 99 years older than me. And I think that's really cool. I'm really excited about it. But mostly, look, it's pretty and there's Egypt, and I love the romanticized, exotic historical fictions. I think they're really fun. Moving on from fiction to nonfiction, I have What to Look For in Winter by Candia McWilliam. And this is a memoir, which I do tend to really enjoy memoirs. This is something that I think I'm going to find a very painful read because it is a memoir of a writer who started to become blind later in life. And oh my god, that for anyone who writes, even for people who read, you know, there are always audiobooks, but the idea of going blind as a writer and a reader is horrifying. It's so terrifying. And I know that this is just going to be so poignant because of it, and it's a pretty decent-sized book, so I am really excited about reading this. The other one that I bought, this is a total move into the unknown for me, is McSweeney's 34. And the 34 stands for the 34th issue, and McSweeney's is actually a publishing collector of short stories. And so we have here, in this lovely, I love this, it's like a book, 2 books within a book that's a little plastic sleeve. I thought that was so fantastic when I saw it, and that's kind of why I bought it. Also because I like to try to read things that I haven't read before. The first one, a little bit of a thicker one, this is a collection of short stories. There's some artwork in it, all kinds of interesting things from different authors, and I don't really read short stories. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later when I talk about Cloud Atlas, which I finally read this month. And I'm just not a short story fan. I've covered that once or twice, but I'm still plugging away at trying to become one because I don't want to shut myself off from any range of the book world. I think it's kind of sad when I feel like I don't like something and I can't enjoy those books because I want to read every book in the entire world. The second book in the sleeve is not short stories at all. This is by Nick McDonnell, who is a Time reporter and correspondent, and it is called The End of Major Combat Operations, and it's writing about the Iraq War, which is an area that I don't know enough about because I think there's so much complexity there that it's so difficult for anyone to really say, yeah, I know everything I should know about that. And I thought that it was definitely something that I should do a little more reading on, especially for such an incredibly good price. My last tiny little inclusion from the chapters sale is something that I thought I'd bring in just because I want to tell you how much the entirety of all these books cost so that you can be jealous. But also because, hey, I bought another book, even though it's completely nonfiction, it's not something you sit down and read. Meh, it's still cute, and that's this thing. It's called Teach Your Dog New Tricks, and it comes with a little rope toy and a little book, teeny tiny thin book about dog training and trick training, and I thought that that would be really fun. So that was my last one, and I kind of just picked it up on the way out, desperately grabbing at any book that looked vaguely interesting as my husband dragged me to the cash register. This is my complete haul, and this entire chunk of books cost me just over $20. I'm so excited about that. I'm even more excited about it because, like I said at the beginning of the video, there's still nearly like 3 weeks to go until the store closes, which means that by the end of it, I am absolutely sure that they'll have some books on sale that aren't from the bargain bins, and they'll have like all of their over-duplicated and underselling books just sitting there waiting at the end for me to snap them all up. Right before I say goodbye, just while I'm sitting here as well, I do want to say that I was really lucky as well. I got all of these. For those of you that don't recognize them, these are the full hardcover editions of the Harry Potter series. Obviously, there are so many different editions with so many different covers, but these are all the same series. And I wanted to get them because I didn't own all of the Harry Potter books. I've read them all multiple times, but I just didn't own a full set, a really nice looking set, and I saw these at a garage sale, and I got them for, again, like $20-30. So I wanted to mention that as well, just because I was really proud of that. I think that was an awesome find, and it is pride of place in my new bookcase that will rapidly be filled because of the chapters sale. And bookcase. Luckily there is a space like right on this side of the bookcase that I can fit one more before I have to start like rebuilding my furniture out of bookcases, which I might actually do at some point. But that's all for another day, and this was kind of rambly. I haven't filmed anything for a little while because I was away getting married, and so I'm a little bit all over the place. I hope it still works for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this haul. I haven't done very many hauls, and I'm hoping to do a couple of reviews soon. And until then, have a great day. Bye.